If you think the Arch is St. Louis's only attraction, think again. St. Louis has a rich music history, and there are landmark locations protecting its music legacy. I'm standing in the heart of the Delmar Loop in St. Louis, Missouri, next to the iconic statue of Chuck Berry. A native St. Louisan and the father of rock and roll, Chuck Berry left his music legacy here.
The statue is intended to show the rock and roll legend in motion and has the lyrics to his rock anthems embedded in the Plaza granite stones.
Today, we're exploring Blueberry Hill and the National Blues Museum. Both locations are off the beaten path, but they are hidden gems, and both are well worth a visit. Blueberry Hill, the restaurant located right behind me, it's a landmark restaurant here in St. Louis, and it's also known as a music venue. To this day, it's known as one of the best music venues in the St. Louis area, and hundreds of artists have performed on its stage. Later, we're going to explore the National Blues Museum. It's a short drive from the Delmar Loop into downtown St. Louis, and the museum is full of exhibits that bring music history to life. So come with me. Let's go explore these extraordinary places.
First thing you notice is the brass stars embedded in the sidewalk honoring notable St. Louisans. The iconic neon sign acts as a beacon guiding visitors to the restaurant. Once inside, you're greeted by a Seaberg jukebox where the owner once rotated his collection of 30,000 records to expose visitors to new music. You also get a hint of the Chuck Berry and pop culture memorabilia that you experience as you explore the display cases, which includes the St. Louis Cardinals and the St. Louis Blues hockey team. Display cases are filled with the owner's personal collection of memorabilia, including Pac-Man, The Simpsons, Star Wars, Howdy Doody, Elvis, vintage items, and much more. On the walls, you'll see hundreds of photos of musicians, movie stars, and U.S. presidents that have visited the restaurant. Blueberry Hill is like a museum that you can enjoy with a cocktail. Let's take a tour of the famous Duck Room. Walking through the door, you're greeted by a long staircase, giving you a feeling of descending into a special part of music history. Chuck Berry played over 200 concerts on this stage. The walls are filled with memorabilia, and the venue has a capacity for 340 music lovers. Check out the link for upcoming live events.
The food and the vibe inside Blueberry Hill are fantastic. And walking around and enjoying the pop culture memorabilia will teach you about music history, but it will also fill your heart with nostalgic memories of childhood.
Just a 30-minute drive into downtown St. Louis is where we'll find the National Blues Museum, which also hosts live music events. Here we are. We made it to the National Blues Museum. I'm so excited to learn more about the blues history and St. Louis's role. So let's jump in. As you enter the museum, you're struck by the faces of those who influenced music history. Every exhibit walks you through an impactful moment in time, including the evolution of the blues from the 1900s to the 1930s, where wooden pianos with punched paper rolls, known as player pianos, played music without a pianist. These pianos were essential to early development of the blues and jazz, and the museum exhibits a collection of original paper rolls. The next area of the museum is called the Blues Plugins and covers the period 1930 to 1960. The walls are full of memorabilia, photographs, facts about the artist, and even videos showing artists' live performances. At the National Blues Museum, they have an amazing interactive experience where you can sing with the St. Louis Jug Band. Let's try it. Sharing its roots with other forms of blues, jug band music is popularized by African-American vaudeville and medicine show musicians around 1900 and peaked commercially in the 1920s. So I'm standing at the location that's labeled Washboard. There's a couple choices here. I can't sing at all, so hopefully that's not going to be required. It says touch the screen to begin, so let's see how it goes. The headphones will give me instructions on the beat. Countdown to jam. What do you think? I'm sure that sounded terrible, but it was a lot of fun to try. This would be amazing for kids. To save your ears, I decided to edit out the rest of my jam session and instead show you a few more of the exhibits, including this interactive one. The museum is full of interactive displays where you can actually listen to the music and learn about its history. I'm standing near a display of 900 harmonicas. Fascinating to learn about the history of the harmonica and how it influenced the blues. You'll have to come to the museum to learn about the artists that used all 900 of these. I just finished my tour of the National Blues Museum. I was so inspired learning about the people that impacted and influenced the blues. You can understand why this genre of music was so impactful because it told the story of people's lives. the sadness, the things that they were experiencing, and it gave particularly the African American community an opportunity to connect. Later, of course, the blues impacts all music going forward. Just outside the museum exit in the gift shop is a wall of extraordinary talent, artists who influenced and were influenced by the blues.
Well, we finished our quick tours of Blueberry Hill and the National Blues Museum. If you enjoyed this video, click on the like button and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future hidden gems or adventures as I travel around the United States. See you on the next adventure.